Hello to whoever finds this journal. My days in Maryland have been rewarding as they are troublesome, and as often dangerous. I have spent the last 6 years assembling my notes in hopes the knowledge I have gained over the time spent in this world to bring good fortune to whoever finds this and to help them get a better understanding of the world they are about to enter. My intent is to create a compendium of how the world works, what it has to offer, and how you can survive and prosper. There are times I feel my work will only serve more confusion about what I found, but I also felt it necessary to compose my ideas and experience to illuminate a path to those who wish to explore. Contained within are recipes, survival tips, warnings, and more, all in an effort to promote safe travels and an overall awareness of the world you are entering. There will be times when you will be tested in ways this compendium can neither prepare you for or help you from. Your choices as a player and a guild may lead to swift and unprecedented consequences. I believe this to be the ultimate guide for survival and success. Welcome to Mortal Online 2. When you first enter a game such as this one, that has such a dedicated and loyal player base totaling around 1,200 to 2,000 player population daily, it's not hard to tell when a new player enters the realm and often lost and confused, picking fights with anyone they come across. They rarely think of the implications this could have on their future. One of my favorite stories to tell is the day I chose to harass the guild leader known as Whitehawk, rest his soul. He was swimming in the waters of Meduli, minding his own business on an alternate character. At the time, I just saw someone vulnerable with gear that I didn't have, so I shot a few arrows his way. Missing terribly, he dove under the water, and once he emerged, he told me something I would never forget. "Mind your place, mortal." Now, it doesn't seem like all that big of a deal, or even all that big of a threat, and later throughout history we became good friends and fought alongside each other in one of the conflicts before the Great Server War. But I knew that there was something special about this game and the way people played it, and how close the game truly sits in their heart. Gaining respect or fear plays a large role on how citizens will treat you from one place to the next. Rivalries and friendships can and often will last years. Due to the game taking hours to play and demanding so much of your time to actually achieve anything noteworthy, it quickly becomes a way of life and holds deep meaning to a certain type of people, myself being one of those people. Something about spending hours a day gathering resources, building a structure, or adventuring aimlessly tends to build a strong bond with the people you surround yourself with. When you first enter the game, whether you realize it sooner or later, even as a fresh player, all eyes are on you. For the most part, people take note of your name and the guild you represent, and they sit and they wait and they watch. They either suspect you of being an alternate account or fresh meat to recruit into their ranks. I say it in every one of my intros and mention it at least once or twice a video. Reputation is everything in this game, and with the most recent update, it is now a good time to actually talk about how the system works. The most recent update at the time of the century came with a new rule set on how the criminal system works and how your influence or reputation with the NPC territories actually work. So let's start off with what the criminal system is and how it works. Everyone starts off and is most often blue. This indicates them to be innocent of any wrongdoing. This, however, does not mean that they are friendly, so it's often best not to trust anyone at face value unless you have nothing that cannot be replaced easily. This is, after all, a MMO extraction game, the extraction being your home bank, kind of like Dark and Darker, but on a larger scale. They are free to report their own murder, or will be protected by guards if assaulted, looted, or stolen from within a guard's range. Gray status, or gray names, are criminals. They are open for attack by anyone without penalty. You can become gray for a multitude of reasons. Stealing from someone's pockets, this will be in a future update, taking something off someone's blue loot bag when they die, attacking an innocent or their pets, be it in self-defense or aggression. And the way the system works currently for criminals is items that you steal will remain stolen for a total of around 2 minutes, and you will stay criminal for around 2 or 5 minutes from the last performed criminal action or the last time you take damage. To attack a blue, the default hotkey is N, as in no, please don't kill me, to turn criminal actions on and off. It's a good rule of thumb to turn it on when traveling outside unguarded areas and to keep it off when in towns or graveyards so you don't accidentally attack someone. You can also become gray by pushing someone out of the way too many times. I think the total times somebody can be pushed is 5, but I'm not totally sure. After so much pushing, it is considered an act of aggression and harassment, so be careful. If you can't access the bank or broker, just use the chat command /bank or /brokers so that you don't accidentally punch somebody's horse or push the wrong person too many times. Lastly, we have the red status. This indicates a murderer, and this is where your regional reputation will have the most importance. Upon slaying 5 innocent characters, or blue characters, assuming they actually report you for the murder, your name will turn red, and this opens a new feature to the game. Once red, you will have to be logged into the game for around 8 hours to take away 1 murder count. This counter does not tick once logged off, but will resume ticking once logged back in. So if you play for around 2 hours and log out and then come back, you resume the murder count at 6 hours, not the entire 8-hour counter. Once you are under 5 murder counts, your name will turn back to blue. Depending on your regional reputation, you may not be able to enter into guarded towns without risk of death by guard. If you are liked in the region, and the guards will turn a blind eye to you being in the town. But keep in mind, even with a good reputation to the guards, players are still welcome to openly attack you without penalty, and most often will, to work toward their own titles of achievement and to take what you have, unless you or your guild is respected by the player population in the region, or your friends are willing to risk their own standing and status on your behalf. Now, I don't really like the system, but that's kinda how it works. Yeah, this chick may have killed a school bus full of children, but she has a really cool cape, guys. Yeah, this guy may be pushing out the local population and creating an economic recession for the area, but he's a goddamn good postman. More on this later in the guide. If you have a bad reputation with the guards and don't know where to go, you're not totally out of options. There are some unguarded cities around Maryland and some small towns like Meduli that have back alley banks. That is lightly patrolled by guards, so if your timing is right, you can easily slip in and quickly slip out unnoticed by them. The unguarded towns by default are Carnesh, located somewhere between Tindrum and Fabrinum, Cave Camp, located in the north between Fabrinum and Morinker, Gulcor, located in the very northeast corner of the map, and Jungle Camp, located in the southeast corner of the map. Guilds that take over territory have the option to set guards on and off, and choose how the guards behave in the region that they control. Now, I know that this is a lot to talk about concerning a red character, but there is one more thing we have to cover. Playing as a murderer makes you a target for bounty hunters. We will cover this in a guide soon enough, as the most recent update reworked this system, so we will take a deeper dive into that later on. So stay tuned, subscribe, and watch me get my ass kicked. Can't wait. Being marked by a bounty hunter is a dangerous thing. They track you with crows and know your location each time they release their crows, so you are never safe and can never stay on one spot for too long. If an active bounty has been placed on you and you revert back to blue status, the bounty hunter is still well within their right to kill you on sight and collect their reward. Bounty hunting, the new quest system, delivering posts from city to city, and killing other players all affect your reputation in the province the acts have been committed in, the Tindremic Empire and the Curite settlements. The Tindremic Empire is mostly on the west side of the map. They have a Roman or feudal settlement aesthetic to them, protected by stone walls, and have Britannia themes. These towns are Tindrim, being the empire's capital, Meduli, Fabrinum, Helsipia, Hell's Pizza, and Carnesh. The Curite settlements are more tribal in their aesthetics and located on the east side of the map, being protected by pikes and wooden barricades. Large fires are in the center of town and with log buildings and huts. These settlements include Morinker, being the tribal capital, Moki, Bodki, Vada, and Gulcor. I haven't mentioned Cave Camp as it sits as an unguarded post on the border of these two empires, so I'm not really sure to which it belongs. The ways you can gain reputation and standing in these provinces is fairly simple. You can deliver parcel from one town to another. These will gain you about 2 standing and 50 clade XP. With the new task, aka quest system, you will be able to be rewarded with Clade XP, Standing, Renown with the Taskmaster, and Coin. Your standing will only increase if you do a Tier 2 quest or higher. This includes both hunting and soldier quest. And as an added bonus, if you do it within a certain time limit, you will get bonus rewards. Moving on, successfully killing and turning in bounties will also increase your standing. The Parcel Taskmaster also has an event where you are ordered to go rescue a lost guard, where you go and locate a guard and deliver a note back to the vendor for a slightly more standing. Take note that you will lose standing if you kill a player near a town or city, and another point of standing if they report the murder. The only time PvP does not affect the standing is if war were declared with your guild and you are killing a war target, or if you are chasing a bounty. Something else worth noting, and this may have changed, your character's race will affect the rate of which you gain and lose standing. Me being a Thursar makes it slower and more difficult to improve the opinions of both Curite territories and Tundrimic territories. Thanks, Game Lore. You can find the task vendors, quest givers, and bounty boards at the inn or pub of every town. If the NPCs are not inside the pub, they are most likely just outside nearby. Okay, with that being said, let's talk to the Soldier Guard, or Soldier Taskmaster. So we have this nice Soldier task board here. Over here you see we have Renown. We need at least 5 to kill a General, 50 to kill a Bandit. Down here is your total Renown that we've earned. I've earned 24 Renown by doing these tasks. This is how much you need to unlock. So I need this number to be 200 to go fight outlaws, and in order to do that, I have to keep farming bandits. This is the level of difficulty that the task is, and this is how many of bandits I have to kill to complete the task. This is where they can be found. They can be found at any bandit camp in the world. Over here we have our rewards. We get 220 glory, which I think transfers over into prominence, and it's Clade XP to help level your character. Then we get 40 renown for completing it, so we need 50 to unlock it, and then it gives us 40 when the task is completed, which contributes to this number, meaning we need 200 to move on to our next task. Then it also gives us 2 standing for this Curite province, and it gives us 2 silver Aegis and about 4 gold, or 400 silver. If we click on buy items, we can get this cape with 10 silver. These trinkets, or silver Aegis, are worth 1 copper. So we need 1,000 of these to grab a cape. Finally, I think this is where we can end. It will be up to you on how you gain reputation with the citizens of Nave and cultivate your own story with your own people and the territories that surround you. If this has been helpful, or if you have more to add, make sure to like and comment. I will pin the most helpful comments as always. Be sure to subscribe for more videos, and as always, thank you for watching.